You ever have that feeling where you just blink and an entire month is just gone? Or you look at a calendar and go, wait, wasn't it just summer? You're not going crazy. It's one of the most universal feelings we have. The older we get, the faster time seems to fly by. But why? Is it just a feeling? Or is something real, something physical, happening inside our brains? Okay, let's get into it.
Seriously, think back to being a kid for a second. Those summer vacations stretched out forever, right? They were jam-packed with endless days of pure adventure. The wait between one birthday and the next felt like a geological era. Now, that same amount of time can feel like it's over in a weekend.
And this really nails the feeling, doesn't it? At age 8, 1 week is this huge landscape of new stuff to do. But at 38, it often just becomes another Tuesday. So what is the deal? Let's unmask the science behind this totally bizarre phenomenon.
We're going to treat this whole thing like a crime scene. Your time is being stolen, and we've identified 3 main culprits. If we can understand how they work, we can figure out how to catch them. Okay, our first suspect isn't psychological, it's physical. It turns out that as you get older, the literal hardware of your brain actually changes how it processes reality. Yeah, this isn't just a feeling, this is biophysics at work.
So here's the thing. Your perception of the world isn't some smooth, continuous video recording. It's much more like a movie film, a super rapid-fire sequence of still images that your brain stitches together. A physicist named Adrian Bayesian calls these mental frames. And here is where it gets really interesting. That frame rate changes, dramatically. A young brain, with all its speedy and efficient neural pathways, processes a huge number of these mental frames every second. It's like a high-speed camera. But as we age, those pathways get more complex and degrade a bit, literally slowing down the rate at which we can process new images. And the result of that is staggering. If you're capturing fewer frames of reality every single minute, then when you look back, that minute feels like it had less stuff in it. The movie of your life is effectively playing on fast forward. Isn't that wild?
All right, let's get to our second culprit. This one isn't about your brain's hardware, it's all about its software. Specifically, it's about how your brain deals with routine and memory just to save a little energy.
See, your brain is incredibly efficient, almost lazy in a smart way. It knows that recording the same boring commute to work for the 5,000th time is a complete waste of energy. So it just stops. It puts you on autopilot. The problem is, our perception of how long the past was is based entirely on the number of new distinct memories we've stored.
This is explained perfectly by something called the holiday paradox. When you're on vacation, everything is new. The sights, the sounds, the food, your brain is totally off autopilot and it's furiously recording everything. That's why, when you look back, 1 week on a trip can feel as rich and as long as a whole month at home. But a month of the same old routine, your brain barely saves anything, so the whole thing shrinks down to feel like just a week.
Okay, you might want to sit down for this one. We've saved the most mind-bending culprit for last. This one has nothing to do with your brain's biology or psychology. It's just simple, cold, and kind of shocking mathematics. This is all about the proportionality theory. Basically, we feel time relative to how long we've already been alive. So for a 10-year-old, 1 year is a massive 10% of their entire existence. It's a huge, significant chunk of their life. But for a 50-year-old, that exact same 365-day period is now just a tiny 2% of their life so far. It's basically a rounding error. So each new year becomes a smaller and smaller fraction of your total experience, which is why it subjectively feels shorter and shorter. And here is the absolute kicker from this whole theory. Because those early, proportionally massive years are weighted so heavily in our perception, a 10-year-old has subjectively experienced almost 60% of their entire perceived life. By the time you're in your early 20s, you're past the 75% mark. It's an absolutely insane thought, right? So after all that bad news, are we just doomed to watch life accelerate into some uncontrollable blur? No way! Absolutely not. Now that we know who the culprits are, we can actually fight back. We can learn to hack the system. Look, this process isn't inevitable. The entire game is about fighting that autopilot thief. It's all about deliberately creating new, dense memories and forcing your brain's camera to kick up its frame rate. It's about making your brain pay attention again. So here's your toolkit.
You gotta shatter your routines. Take a new way to the store. Try eating with your non-dominant hand. Force novelty into your life by learning something genuinely challenging, like an instrument or a new language. Seek out moments of awe. Travel somewhere you've never been, or just go explore your own city. And practice mindfulness. Really force your brain to process the details of the present moment. All of these things create new memories. They fire up your brain and they effectively slow down your perception of time.
So, see? The power isn't totally out of your hands. You can choose to live a life that leaves a dense, rich, and detailed record in your memory, one that feels long and full when you look back on it. The only question is, what new, unique memory are you going to force your brain to record today?